Hey, what up, everybody? It's Moss coming to you with another DC testing league. And today we're running basically the new hotness of Pioneer that is Rakdos Prowess. Now, your boy's been obsessed with Rakdos for a minute. It was like one of the first decks that I played in Pioneer. And sure, it was the mid range variant now, or then. But now we're looking at really just an aggro build. So this deck really focuses on a couple of key cards. Stuff like Heartfire Hero and Callous Sellsword. We pump up our creatures with a bunch of really good spells, stuff like Titan Strength, Monstrous Rage, Ancestral Anger. And then we sacrifice our big creatures with a Callous Sellsword, the burn together part of it. And we just get in for lethal on turn 3. The deck seems super sweet. Outside of that like little bit of black splash there, we've also got a little black in the main board for Claim to Fame. Lets us return our creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield, and from the graveyard, pay 2, and we can give something hasten +2/+0. Works with the prowess stuff, works with the sacrifice things that we're doing. It's a pretty solid deck altogether. The rest of the main board is kind of the filler that you would expect. Den of the Bugbear, Ramunap Ruins. We got a Rockface Village, which in my testing hasn't been the strongest card, but it is pretty workable. You've also got Slickshot Show Off, Emberheart Challenger, obviously Taylor, and Dreadhorde Arcanist just to loop some spells out of the graveyard. Basically everything in here is a 1-drop, so we're going to constantly get that trigger there. Sideboard, about what you would expect out of a Rakdos deck. Thoughtseize, Fatal Push. This for obviously other aggro decks. Thoughtseize for any potential combo or mid-range decks. Torch the Tower to specifically deal with the mirror, because if we can shut off their Heartfire Hero trigger by exiling their stuff, pretty good. Also works well against Phoenix. We've got In the Festivities for mono white. Hazoret, because guess what? Mid-range control, and we end up getting empty-handed pretty frequently, so this is always going to be a nice 5/4 beat stick. Ob Nixilis for control, for Lotus Field, Unlicensed Hearse for all the graveyard decks, and because it's everywhere, obviously the Jegantha Companion. But let's see how this deck does in a Pioneer League, and obviously don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter for more. And I'll see you guys in match number 1. Alright, match number 1, and we get to be on the play. That's going to be sick. Hopefully we can get a really good opener here. Alright, opponent's not revealing a companion. We've got a 1-drop, dense hand, and no pump spells. Unfortunately, we got to mulligan this because it is super slow. This hand is a little bit better. Obviously not the greatest, but I think we kind of have to keep this one, and we'll just put that back and start off with a tapped land and say go. Next turn we can maybe plot the slick shot. Oh no, is it control? Oh, that's going to be brutal for us. Okay, let's go ahead and just start with a definitely questionable. We got an extra copy, so let's go ahead and play our slick shot. Get in for 1. And then next turn we'll play the Emberheart. Maybe have something that we can pop off there. Okay, they play Sea Cronco, so they're humans. Interesting. Alright. Let's go for the Emberheart here. And maybe if they block, we'll play the Monstrous Rage. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just get in like this. Next turn we can go for a big swing and potentially hit something good off of the Emberheart Challenger. Or they can play Reflector Mage. Alright, what are they reflecting back to our hand? It's the mouse. Womp, womp. Alright, so they put us down, and unfortunately we can't cast that next or this turn. let's go ahead and play Taylor and swing in like this. Is opponent going to block? Doesn't look like they are. And I think right now what we're going to do is we're just going to plot this slick shot and hope that next turn we can top deck some type of like spell so we can pump up our threats. But blue-white humans isn't the worst. What would be crazy is if they're just playing like a weird tempo-y deck and not the human typal. Okay, there's that. So we can't play the slick shot. That's fine. Get in for 5. We're down to 12. Yikes. Okay. Well. Oh, yep. Yep. That's pretty brutal. Alright, well. Let's go ahead and swing first. See if there's anything cool we can do here. Okay, opponent's not blocking. I really just want to plot this other slick shot and let's just get there. If we can top deck something that isn't a land, we can maybe do everything that we need to. Alright, opponent plays Athalia's Lieutenant. That's lethal. Alright, good game, opponent. So, let's go on to sideboarding. What do we want here? They didn't really play any cheap creatures. So, this, like, in the festivities doesn't feel super good. And maybe Torch the Tower has some application here, but it's questionable about how much. Let's go ahead and take out the Dread Hordes because those aren't doing a whole lot. And honestly, the Titan's Strength are probably coming out in most matchups too. And run it like this. Alright, game number 2. We're going to be on the play. Hopefully we can hit a better hand. Okay, this hand is infinitely better. We definitely keep this. Let's go and play the Sokenzan, play the Kumano, and then we can go for double Heartfire next turn. Okay, they do have the 1-drop. That's fine. Hitting the 3rd Heartfire isn't the best place for us to be right now. But let's go ahead and just start here. And let's run it just like this. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. They go for a Thalia. We're going to go ahead and just kill this thing. Now we're not going to cast it with Bargain because that would be insane. Okay. So, now that we've done that, we want to go ahead and cast this. Draw a card, trigger our Heartfire hero. Monstrous Rage next turn will be kind of cool. Especially if we can hit lands. The Thalia taxing our spells is going to be kind of back-breaking. Alright, opponent shocks in the Hollowed Fountain, so either they have a Brutal Cathar or just a Reflection Mage. That's Not the best, but I mean, it's understandable why they went that way. Okay. So opponent just goes, oops. That's fine. Alright, well, they're not doing anything here. So they'll take this and we will just go ahead and plot our slick shot. Because we don't necessarily want them to go and kind of ruin our plan for the next turn. If we hit a land, we can go for Heartfire into Monstrous Rage, which will feel pretty good. Okay, opponent's tapping 1. And they go for a Kythian. That's not terrible. And there's a Reflection Mage. Alright, that's 4 damage coming at us. Down to 15. Wow. Alright. So, how do we want to do this? I do feel like we're kind of incentivized to just go for 3, 4. That's 3, 4, 5. It puts us close, but not like 100% there against this opponent. And again, that Thalia taxing us is pretty bad. It's pretty backbreaking. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. They play out their recruitment officer. Does the opponent have another Reflector Mage? No, they have a Mockingbird targeting their Reflector Mage, which is just as bad. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and... Which one of these are we going to block? I mean, we can block Kythian and just guarantee that they're not going to get the Gideon, which is fine. Alright, so what can we do here? Honestly, we are dead. No matter what we do here, we are super dead. That turn 2 Thalia really killed us, and then just all these Reflector Mages got there too. Unlucky. GG's opponent. Alright, let's see if we can do better in match number 2. Alright, match number 2, and we're going to be on the draw against a pretty nice opponent so far. And this is not the hand that will get us a good turn 3 win. So we're going to have to ship this one back. Double Kamano and a Dreadhorde Arcanist is not the play here. This hand is infinitely better. We'll keep this. Probably going to end up shipping back this Rockface Village because it doesn't allow us to cast any of our like actual spells that aren't creatures. Alright, and we'll keep bottom that. Opponent also mulligans, which is good. Okay, opponent plays an island and says go. Don't like that for us. Heartfire Hero being the pickup for turn feels sweet. Alright, opponent casts Consider. Consider probably means that they're Phoenix. Let's see if they bin anything here to kind of further prove that point. No, they just draw a card. Okay. Certainly not the worst then. They go for an opt. And they bottom the card and pass. Alright. Then let's go for a Monstrous Rage here. Gonna hit our opponent for 15. on turn 2. Hit them for 5. And then we're going to burn together, going at their face. Always yield. Opponent's down to 5, which is sick. Now I just gotta hope that they don't hit anything. Okay. So, one land and not doing much else. An opponent is just moving through their combat, moving to their second main, casting Sleight of Hand, so they're definitely Phoenix, but just one land hand Phoenix? Okay. Okay. Well, I think with everything happening the way that it is, we're going to go for the Emberheart Challenger and reanimate. Get the Prowess trigger. And we knock our opponent down to 2, but they scoop it up. Okay. So, against Phoenix. Unlicensed Hearses coming in. Torch the Tower coming in. And what's going to come out here? It honestly, again, just feels like Titan's Strength is the one card to come out. They've got so much removal that we want to keep in these Claim to Fames. And being able to loop either Torch the Tower or loop Reckless Rage is going to be pretty good against most of the Phoenix threats. There might be some logic behind like bringing in a Hazoret, but I'm not really seeing it right now, so I think we just run it like this. Alright, game number 2, and we're going to be on the draw. And is this one lander a potential keep? The answer is maybe. We've got this to draw. We're on the draw, so like our ability to maybe hit a land is pretty decent. Callous Sellsword could be a really hot card for us too. So it might be a possibility. Okay. Oof. And our opponent got greedy in the last game and didn't bottom a removal spell. Okay. So opponent goes Steam Vents and brings it in tapped. We're cool with that. Alright, we hit the land. That's step number 1. Let's go Taylor and hit our opponent down to 19. Hopefully we do get a little bit more of an interactive game this time around. If our opponent goes for something like a Ledger Shredder here, they don't. Okay. Ooh, and we hit a mountain. Well, let's start by just going for this. Opponent doesn't do anything. Alright, let's go for the Dread Horde here. And hope that we can get somewhere. Okay, opponent goes Consider. They might end up having the Anger of the Gods, which would be terrible for us in this situation. Okay, I could maybe see us not playing this now that I'm thinking about the Anger of the Gods. An opponent did go card on top. Okay, it's a Spire Bluff. Is it Anger of the Gods? Oh, it's Brotherhood's End. Oh, that's such a beating. Okay. We do draw another Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is surprisingly fine. As long as we can avoid a Lightning Axe, we're good. Like, honestly, Lightning Axe off the top would be the worst thing for us right here. But if they go for the double fiery impulse, okay, there's one. Will Monstrous Rage in response. Does opponent have the other fiery impulse? Ain't no way. Ain't no way they got two. They have the lightning axe. Wow. Okay, I guess. So we are probably cooked. Oh, nope. There's a Taylor. Okay. You know, I'm actually really glad that we hit just like a creature heavy set of draws now. Opponent's just one card away from going a 1 mana treasure cruise on the next turn and just refilling their hand essentially. But I don't hate this for us. Okay, so now we cast the Ancestral Anger. Prowess trigger. Ooh, okay, the Claim to Fame is kind of huge here. I almost want to say we just go ahead and cast it so that we can get back a Dreadhorde Arcanist and pump Taylor for another damage here. I don't think we could have asked for like a better set of draws on this exact turn. Okay, hit our opponent down to 14. Hope that we can evade another Brotherhood's End. And I think if we do evade another Brotherhood's End, we actually get there, which is insane. Okay, opponent hits land, Arclight, Picklock Prankster, and an Ether Gust off of their Free the Fae. And they go for a Lightning Axe on our Dreadhorde. That's honestly fine. Alright, let's see. If we go, that's 4. I think we do need to just go ahead and cast our Slick Shot. And I mean, let's run it. Let's just absolutely run it here. We need to hit our opponent for as much damage as possible. So we hit him for 8, down to 6. And then next turn, if everything goes well, if they don't hit a land and they don't have a Spell Pierce in hand, we might have them absolutely cooked. Okay, there's the Picklock Prankster. They don't have the land for the Ether Gust that we know they have in hand. There's a Kamano. I do think we have to do this. Of all things, it's gotta be this instead of the Kumano. So we trigger. And if they have the Lightning Axe, or if they have the Fiery Impulse, they kill one of our two things right now. Which, I mean, that would kind of suck. But we do still get to deal 4 to them. Okay, they kill our slick shot. They pitch the ether gust. Okay. Is opponent going to take this? Okay, they don't. Alright. So, we get to hit our opponent for 5 here with this burn together. That's so good for us. Alright, that means that this Kamano is lethal next turn. Come on, we gotta get there. We gotta get there. Tap out, opponent. Tap out. Ooh, we're so close. Alright, they go for another Free the Fae. They hit Treasure Cruise. Alright, they get their cruise. Ooh, we're so close. We're so close. We can almost taste it. Alright. They get a pathway. They get the consider. Let's go. Let's absolutely go. Alright, sure, you get your bird. Are you going to hit us with the bird? Nah, you know that your goose is cooked. Play the Kamano. Hit him with the GG in chat. Let's go. Alright, see you guys in match number 3. Alright, match number 3, we're going to be on the draw. And this hand is okay. We get a pump spell, we get some creatures against a Kahira deck. That means that they're control. Now that we know that they're control, does this feel as good? Honestly, no. I think we can be faster. This isn't good. In fact, there was a Twitter post about this exact hand the other day. And they were saying that it was a mull. But I think we gotta keep it. Just because I don't know if our 5s get that much better. So, there is some logic behind just going Heartfire on one versus Swift Spear. Because, like, Heartfire guarantees more damage later on in the game. I think here we just go for the Heartfire. No, we need to play land and go for the Heartfire just in case they do have a counter. And then maybe next turn we have something good with the Valiant. Honestly, if we hit the right combination of spells, we might win. That's not the right combination of spells for us. Let's do this. Do they have the counter? Interesting. Okay, they don't. Let's swing for 4. They gotta get lost, and that's honestly fine. Let's shock, target the mouse. Reckless Rage. Do we want to put the Reckless Rage in the graveyard? Yes, we do. Do they have Verdict? No, they have Narset. Oh, they hit Portable Hole. Okay, there's our Heartfire hero gone. Okay, so what exactly do we want in this scenario? I know we don't want to play really anything into what they're doing here. Like, it's almost the exact opposite of what we would like to be happening. Let's go ahead and tighten strength our mouse. Okay. And that's on the bottom now. Okay, so we can go 8 at face, or we can go and attack into this. I do feel like it is just attack with that into face and attack into Narset there because we don't want them digging for a Wrath effect. Okay, there's a portable hole. They're going to take the Emberheart Challenger. Unsurprising. They buy Kahira. And we hit another Taylor. Sure. Monstrous Rage. Yeah. I mean, let's go. Both of these at their face. Because it's just like if they hit land and Wrath, we hate the position we put ourselves in. Yeah. Okay, so we don't hate the spot that we're in this exact moment. An opponent scoops it up. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I did not expect to get there. Whew. I mean, yeah, we could have activated the den, swung in for 3, and then we had lethal the following turn. Holy cow, did not expect that. Alright, so let's look at our options in this matchup. So, we've got these 6 that we're looking at. Let's go ahead and just start peeling through what we want to take out. Reckless Rage immediately comes out. Titan Strength, I feel like immediately comes out. And honestly, that feels great. Run it like this. Okay. Wasn't bad. We probably could have avoided that entire situation by just keeping that Monstrous Rage on top. Don't hit yes on MTGO. The game is hard sometimes. Okay, revealed Juicy J, and okay, what does this hand say for us? We've got Kamano that's a guaranteed flip at some point. We've got Blood Crypt and Taylor. I think we can keep this hand. Okay, opponent mulls to 6. Plays a plains and says go. So I think the first thing that we do is just we play out this Kamano. And okay, opponent has Hall and Plains, definitely indicating that they might have something. I don't want to cast this without the mana being up because I know that the deck does run the one, like the one permission spell. Let's see if they got it. They don't. They don't have it. Do we get greedy? No, we don't get greedy. But what if we do? What if we do? Okay. We're just going to hit our opponent for 2 here. Opponent plays Castle Ardenvale, and they do nothing. Okay. Let's go for this Ember Heart Challenger. And let's swing. Let's go and pump the Taylor. Opponent's down to 6. Say go. Alright, opponent casts 3 steps ahead. That way they can just dig for some extra cards. They've been a Memory Deluge. They hit a Field of Ruin. Interesting. I mean, what's the chance? What's the actual chance that our opponent has some nonsense right now? Okay. I mean, let's do it. There's the Wandering Emperor. Are they going to exile? Yeah, they do. Okay. Now, I do think that we have to maybe play kind of cautiously here. So let's go ahead and just do this and this and say go. We're about to lose that claim to fame, which sucks. And our opponent's probably about to wrath us. I mean, what's the chance? What's the actual chance that they have a Settle the Wreckage? Please no Settle the Wreckage. Please no Settle the Wreckage. Okay, Cutzel's Flanker. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. They gain 2. They're at 8. Now the question is, what are they blocking? Because they got a block here. Okay, they're blocking just the Ember Heart Challenger. And they're blocking that. I mean, we can pump this. It goes up to 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing for us to do here, is just to pump and get the trigger. Are they going to discard a thing and march us? Oh, no, they're knockout blowing. Okay. Oh, let's absolutely go. All right, so this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, yeah. That's lethal. Hot dog, we got there. All right, see you guys in match number 4. All right, match number 4, we're going to be on the draw, and we will keep reveal Gigantha. Oh yeah, we're absolutely keeping this hand. Well, you know, I even said that we would keep before. Oh no, it's a Gigantha mirror. Ooh, an opponent's mulliganing. That's not good. Does that mean we're dead? All right, they start with the Carplution, and they go Carplution into Soulscar. Honestly, now I don't even want to play out anything, but I think we'll play out this mouse and see what we can do. Chances are they're going to kill this, but next turn we can go for the Swifty. Yeah, no, I am very interested to see what this opponent's going to do here. Considering that they play Soulscar, they're probably just Gruul Prowess. And I mean, we're not blocking. Like, no matter what they do, we are not blocking. I will say, if they are Gruul Prowess and they're running like Wizard's Lightning and Skewer the Critics, we definitely feel worse. Okay, Play with Fire, pretty good. And because of Soulscar Mage's ability, we don't get any trigger there. Okay, opponent hits us for 2. Alright, so now we will just go for Taylor. And we'll swing. And I don't want to push our luck any by trying to cast these spells. I want to honestly save them to be a little reactive, so that if they go after our Soulscar Mage or after our Monastery Swift Spear, we can save it with Monstrous Rage potentially. But instead they hit us with the Wizard's Lightning, so they did have the removal. They were forced to use it. That's fine. We've got plenty to deal with them. But this does show that, again, they are the Gruul Prowess deck, which I do feel like is significantly more favored of these two aggro decks. We don't have the ability to really go after them the way that they can go after us. Okay. I do think that now we want to go for the Dreadhorde Arcanist. We'll have a blocker. Are they just going... Okay, Seek the Beast. Alright, they Seek the Beast, and what are they exiling? Gitu and Swifty. Okay. Honestly, not the worst thing. Because, like, they can play both of these, and we're kind of okay with it. And we can go Titan Strength, hit them for 6, 7. Okay, so what do we do here? I feel like they have Monstrous Rage in hand. It's almost guaranteed that they do. Okay, so let's go ahead, cast this, targeting this. Okay, we see another Monstrous Rage. We don't really care for that. at this point. We take a damage, go to 12. Let's swing. So the problem is we can die this next turn. Yeah, we're absolutely going to cast this, target our creature. We'll do that. Now, if the opponent doesn't have the ability to kill us, they've got 3 cards in hand. If they have a Tarkus command, that's 3, 4, or 3, 6. That's 9, 12. Exactly if they have it, but I don't think they do. Okay, they do have a Monstrous Rage. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. That hits us down to 1. Are you kidding? Oh, no, that's lethal. Dang it, that's insane. Okay. So, Fatal Pushes come in. Torch the tower come in. And the Titan Strength come out. And let's... what else can we take out? We can maybe drop a Ancestral Anger, or we can drop a Monstrous Rage, and I think the Monstrous Rage is the better drop here. And then we'll just run it like that. Alright, game number 2, we're going to be on the play. And honestly, this hand does like all the stuff we want it to do. Admittedly, it's a little land heavy, but hitting lands is honestly what we want to do in this matchup. We can go Kamano on 1. We can go Bird on 2. Depending on what they do on their 1. Okay, they match our movement. Okay, Reckless Rage is definitely a card for us to have against them. And I don't think we can really pass up this opportunity to go for the damage. So, let's hit them. Now, if our opponent goes for the creature and removal line here, if they go for one of their wizards into a wizard's lightning, we feel bad about this because we can't really torch, or we can't really Reckless Rage anything that they do. Okay, they also go for a Slick Shot, so they're just matching our move, which can't say I hate it. But I think we have the better turn 3 right now. Oh my gosh, we have an insanely good turn 3. Okay. So, we go for Reckless Rage, targeting their bird. Let's go for a Monstrous Rage on our etching. And then we swing. And say go. Okay, opponent plays a Copperline Gorge. Now let's see what they do here. Because we got 1 mana for this Torch the Tower up, which is great. Would love to see them just tap out to get their Gigantha in hand. But that would be absolutely silly of our opponent. Would also love to see them like tap out for a Atarka's Command, going 3 to the face and pumping. That way we can torch the tower and sack our monster roll token in response, but opponent scoops it up. Alright, so this is the way that these matches tend to go. Whoever's on the play first gets the win in the first game, and whoever obviously goes on the play for the second game gets it. Third game is, again, going to be dependent on who has the better removal. If you are playing the better control style game plan, I think you've got it for game 2 or game 3. And we just had the right stuff. Okay, so we reveal Juicy J. And this hand is not the vibe. I think we got a mullet. Oh, man. This is bad, too. This is super bad. I almost want to say we mull this one, too. Yep, we're not getting there this game. All right. It was real. It was very real. So absolutely real knowing you, opponent. All right. Do it like that. Maybe we can hit something sweet. Maybe we can make our opponent tap out and we can go for an absolute, like, cracked turn 3. Oh, no, we are not getting there. This is it. This is done. We are so cooked. All right. So, opponent's going to get in. And honestly, our first couple of hands weren't the worst, but they were definitely far from keepable. And again, it's going to be hard for us to win while our opponent's at 20. Oh, are they going for... Okay, they're not going for the light up the stage there. I mean... Do we give them the opportunity to... No. We plot and we hope that we can get there on a later turn. We really are just hoping that they don't have, like, Wizard's Lightning, Skewer the Critics. Because that would just be lethal right here. They have Slick Shot and Play with Fire. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good opponent. That's 6, 9. We're at 15. We're going down to 6 here. We would need an insane combination of stuff to get us away from death. And I don't think there's anything that insane that we can pull off right now. Okay, so we will bring this off of the plot. We will cast that Anger. I mean, sure. Did they top with that? Let's see, what did they do? They played their play with fire, targeting us. They put all their triggers on the stack and they went to the bottom. I mean, if they got us, they got us. I almost want to say that we just need to... I mean, burn together, going after one of their creatures. That still puts us so far away from lethal, it's not even worth it, honestly. Okay. Hit our opponent. Down to 6. What would be crazy is if they have literally nothing in their hand. Again, what would be crazy is if they just buy Gigantha, play a tap land. But I don't think we're going to be that fortunate. They play a Sokenzen. They go for the attack. Oh. Oh my god, we might get there. Ain't no way. We might get there. Come on. Spell, spell, spell. Let's go. Claim. And then fame. And torch. And we get there? Oh, man. Huh. Nothing like a red mirror to get the heart racing. Oh my gosh. GG's opponent. Whew. That's a sick win for us. All right, see you guys in match number 5. All right, match number 5, and we're going to be on the play. Okay, it's a nice change of pace for us. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, reveal Gigantha, and it's a Yorion deck, so probably fires. I mean, I don't hate this hand into fires. I do think I need to go Kamano first and then Heartfire Hero. And let's go Seer Step. Let's see. They're either Yorion Fires, Yorion Enigmatic, or Yorion Control. Alright, let's go for you and I guess you. It's probably better for us to have just shocked this in and played both out, because then we wouldn't have to take any damage next turn They're just black-white? Interesting. Okay, so let's... I will say, this is going to feel bad if we're just running right into a... Oh god, what is that card called? Temporary Lockdown. In fact, I might just scoop if they put it on the stack next turn. Alright, hit opponent. They're down to 11. And then, like, next turn we've got lethal. Please don't actually have it, opponent. No. No. Okay, so let's do this. And we will... Oh man, what do we want to cast this on? It's definitely the Heartfire hero. And then just pump everybody. And I guess we go for... Nope, not worth it. Okay, opponent just scoops it up. Sick. I have no idea what our opponent's playing, so... They're a Yori on deck. We go for that. And we bring in this. And what do we take out? The normal litany of things. They didn't play any creatures, so that makes us think that Reckless Rage is pretty trash. And Titan Strength was cool there, but not the exact thing that we needed. We'll keep in 1. And seems fine. Run it. For as much of a lover of Cacophony Scamp as I am not missing it in this deck. I kind of love this deck without it. Ooh. Ooh. Heartfire on 1. And then Monstrous Rage Callus on 2. Alright, let's do it. No fear. No fear. Play tap, play tap, play tapped. Tap, 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 tap. Dang it. Okay. Well. Let's swing. You got it, opponent? Rude. Okay. Fine. Don't let us have our phone. Our fun. Okay. Caretaker's Talent. Temporary Lockdown. Sunfall. Go Blank feels like the bigger threat on this particular board. Like, taking everything out of our hand feels really bad. Okay, they go for the Shattered Sanctum. What are they going to do? Okay, they just buy Yorion? I mean... Do we really care if they go for the... Honestly, yeah, we kind of do. Alright. Just going to plot it. Plot it in Sego. Because depending on what they do this turn, we could just beat them. Okay, they tap out for the Caretaker's talent and play a Fountain Port. Ancestral. And Monstrous Rage. And attack our opponent. And burn together. You are already dead. GG's opponent. Let's go. We got the 4-1. All right, I'll see you guys in the wrap up. Okay, so what do we think of this Rakdos Prowess list? And honestly, the deck went 4-1. This felt incredible. I will admit, in a couple of our matches, the draws felt about what we could expect out of the deck. Like, they were just hot draws for sure. As far as any changes that we would make to the list, personally, I think we could maybe move away from Rakdos and just move to Gruul, and instead of the Callous Sellsword, run Thud instead. And maybe run some type of protection spell or even Seek the Beast to like help us take cards off the top of our deck questing Druid. But honestly, the deck feels super sweet. The Fatal Pushes in the side and the Thought Seizes felt incredible, especially in the last two matches that we played. Ob Nixilis could have come up in that last match. If it had gone on longer, it could have come up against Control if that match went on longer. The fact that we lost to blue-white humans does seem a little iffy, especially if that's the course that future humans lists are going to take. If they're blocking us from casting our already kind of limited list of creatures, it's a huge detriment to this deck. But I think outside of that, the deck is just incredibly powerful. There's a lot of versatility for the way that you can build this. If you cut Callous Sellsword and go straight for Thud, the one-drop version of this effect, I think you do open yourself up to a lot of different builds with this deck. Going green and adding things like not only Titan Strength, but you can go for Gaia's Strength or whatever the card out of Dominaria United was. Admittedly, you're only hitting, it for 2. You're not necessarily getting that effect right there of the Scry. But there's a lot of good green pump spells that I do think work out fairly well for this type of deck. If you keep with black, maybe even running something like Ashnod's Altar, or not Ashnod's Altar, but Ashnod's Intervention, that lets you get the card back into your hand, basically as a way to replace the Claim to Fame, even though that felt like a house in this deck. There's just so many different ways that you can build this. But that's everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.